Hi guys, this is Paige from Paperbacks and Lattes, and today I want to show you the books I recently hauled. So this past weekend I went on a book splurge, a book buying splurge. I found some really great deals at some local thrift shops that are local to me. So I usually don't buy a lot of physical books because I just don't have the room for them. I'm just really pretty much an ebook reader. So, but I do love to buy physical books because I'm just a book lover. I love actually holding books. I love shopping. I love browsing for books. I just love the whole experience. So I just wanted to go ahead and show you. I did show this in my Kindle Clear Out Readathon vlog, but in case you didn't see it, I just wanted to make a separate video and show you these awesome books that I found. I don't know, I really don't know except for like two that I've heard other people read that are good. The other ones I just kind of bought because it was such a good deal. A lot of these were only 50 cents, so like if it turns out to not be good, it's only 50 cents. So the first one that I was so excited to find was Jacob by Jacqueline Frank. This is recommended by Bree, I know of, from In Love and Words. This is the first book in the Nightwalker series. This has to do with vampires. So I think this was published in 2006. So this is an older series, but it's supposed to be so good. This is about vampires who they fall prey for their lust of humans, so they try to stay away from them. But he sees this girl, Isabella, on the street, and he has overwhelming feelings for her. So he is very attracted to her. And yeah, I cannot wait to read this one. I've heard it's really good. This next one I got is a Nicholas Sparks book. This is Every Breath. I've never actually read a Nicholas Sparks book. I've just watched his movies about the books. But I found a couple of them, so I said, why not? This is about Hope. She's at a crossroads. She's 36. She's been dating her boyfriend, an orthopedic surgeon, for 6 years with no wedding plans in sight. And so she visits her family's cottage in Sunset Beach, North Carolina. And the hero of the story is True Walls. He is summoned to the same Sunset Beach because from a letter claiming to be his father. And so he's trying to unravel some of the mysteries surrounding his mother's early life. And when the two strangers cross paths, their connection is electric. So this is about two people who meet at Sunset Beach and are attracted to each other, and it's going to be their love story. The next one I got is another Nicholas Sparks book. This is The Rescue. This is about a volunteer firefighter named Taylor, and he makes risk every day saving people, but he doesn't make the risk of falling in love. He always leaves before he can. But then one day a record-breaking storm hits his small southern town, and Taylor comes across a young single mother named Denise Holton in a crashed car, and they go looking for her missing son, and involve a rescue different from all the others. With Denise's help, dare him to make the greatest commitment of all, love someone forever. So this is about a volunteer firefighter who is afraid of commitment, afraid of love, and he finds love with someone he helps rescue. Sounds really good. The next book I got is It's Always the Husband by Michelle Campbell. I thought that this was a romance, but I was reading the back and it sounds more like a thriller. I don't know, I'll have to check, but I've actually never read a thriller, so we'll see how this is. This is about friends Kate, Aubrey, and Jenny. They first met at college and when they were roommates, and they soon became inseparable best friends. They swore that they would always be best friends, and then 20 years go by, and the three women are all married and deemed successful by any measure, and they're together again, but one of them is standing at the edge of a bridge and someone is urging her to jump. How did it come to this? Who is it to blame? Is it true that it's always the husband who commits the worst crimes against his wife, or is someone else behind a sinister plot to tear these three women apart? So, sounds like a very mystery, and some of the praise says that it's very riveting and will keep you on the edge of your seat. So, the next book I got is Out of the Rain by Debbie Macomber. I've actually never read a Debbie Macomber book, but I know she's highly popular. I don't know if it's romance or chick lit. I'm really not into chick lit, but I decided, well, I've seen her books everywhere, so I'm like, well, why not try one of her books? So Dash Davenport is a divorce attorney, and he, helps people with their divorces, and he is also divorced himself. So he believes no married couple can live up to their wedding vows, and then he meets Savannah, who is a wedding planner, who finds herself saying yes when Nash unexpectedly proposes, even though it's a strictly business proposal. So this sounds like it is an arranged marriage. I love that trope. So hopefully this will be good. The next one I got is Another Chance to Dream by Lynn Kurland. This is about Reese, who is a knight, and Gwen is a lover of minstrel tales waiting to be swept away. Gwen is betrothed to another man, and Reese fears he will lose her forever until a surprise offer comes his way, bringing Reese and Gwen a second chance at love. So this sounds like it's like a medieval type of story. I've actually never read one, so it'll be interesting to try this one out. The next one I got is Wicked by Shannon Drake. It says, the Earl was known as a beast. Camille Montgomery is aware of the wicked man's reputation, but as an expert in antiquities, she also knows his family's Egyptian artifacts are the finest in England. The problem is her wayward stepfather knows this too, and he's determined to steal them. So when he's caught in the act of robbing the so-called Beast of Carlisle, Camille must swallow her fear and boldly confront the man whose mask is said to hide a face too loathsome to behold. The Earl of Carlisle has lived in the shadows ever since the suspicious death of his parents, but he's never stopped trying to unravel the mystery behind what he suspects to have been their murder. And now that the lovely Camille has stumbled into his life, he has the perfect pawn for his deadly game of vengeance and deceit. But in laying his ruthless trap, will he risk losing his own heart? So this sounds like it's going to be a hate-to-love relationship, and also it kind of sounds like a Beauty and the Beast retelling. So sounds very interesting. Can't wait to give it a try. The next one I got is a Johanna Lindsey book. I've only read one book by Johanna Lindsey, but it was fantastic. So when I saw this one, I grabbed it. This is in the Regency England era. Her parents' deaths have left Kelsey penniless and responsible for her younger sister Jean. They are homeless as well, and unless Kelsey can avert the disaster, so Kelsey must allow herself to be sold at auction. With fear and trepidation, she enters the House of Euros, resigned to becoming the plaything of some well-heeled gentleman. And Lord Derek Mallory is the highest bidder, a dashing Raquel from a family of charming London rogues. Enchanted by the stunning dark-haired maid with flashing bright eyes, he purchases her for his mistress and sweeps Kelsey into a world of astonishing family secrets, rivalries, and unconventional loyalties. But the Lord Derek is unaware of the true worth of the prize he has frivolously acquired, never imagining that the proud-spirited Mist is a high-born lady blessed with grace, wit, and intelligence, as well as beauty, and he certainly never expected that he would fall in love with her. Sounds really good. So she has to sell herself to help protect her and her younger sister, and he buys her and then realizes that she is way more than he had expected, and he falls in love with her. Sounds like a great story. The next one is another Johanna Lindsey book. This is Heart of a Warrior. This is the third book in this series, but when I read the synopsis, I had to get it. It sounds so good. I can't say for certain, but it sounds like this is a time traveling romance because Brittany Callahan thinks she's dreaming. After all, she's not used to seeing a blonde, nearly 7 feet tall Nordic gods in her tiny California town. But when the spectacular looking Viking turns up on her doorstep, Brittany knows her dream man is very real. So he informs her that his name is Dalden and he is in fact a barbarian warrior and he is a long way from home and needs her help and he is willing to pay for it. She is very attracted to him, but she's in for a very rude awakening because he is exactly what he claims to be. Where he comes from, brute strength is the law. Men are all powerful and their women always obey. As bold and brash as she is beautiful, Brittany isn't going to be submissive to any man, even one who is everything she ever wanted in a lover. If she and her Norse god are ever going to get serious, something is definitely going to have to give. This sounds amazing. I've always been intrigued, like, what if somebody from the past had time travel to the future? What would it be like for them? I always imagine if Outlander was like reverse, if Jamie was able to come to the future with Claire. That kind of sounds like what it is, so I'm very intrigued and want to read it. The next book I got is this is For the Roses by Julie Garwood. I have heard some great things about Julie Garwood, so when I saw this book, I had to get it. It says, no one ever knew what kind of strays from animals to weary travelers Mary Rose Claiborne would bring home next. Sometimes her 4 brothers, runaway slave Adam, ex-pickpocket Douglas, gunslinger Cole, and conman Travis, wondered whether her boarding school education did a lick of good now that their beautiful, impulsive little sister was black in Bluebell, Montana. Of course, everyone in town knew better than to mess with the Claibornes. The brothers had been a mismatched gang of street urchins, but they had found an abandoned baby girl in a New York City alley, named her Mary Rose, headed west, and raised her to be a lady. Through the years, the Claibornes had become a family held together by loyalty and love, if not by blood, when they suddenly faced the crisis that could tear them apart. The crisis came to town with Lord Harrison Stanford MacDonald in his fine clothes. He looked every inch a dude. Mary Rose figured that if she didn't interfere, this handsome Englishman would get himself killed, so she took him home to the Claiborne ranch to ask her brothers to turn him into a cowboy. She didn't expect MacDonald was a chameleon, not the greenhorn he appeared to be. He proved fast with a gun, quick with his fist, and capable of commanding the Claibornes' respect, if not their trust. He'd also soon be desperately in love with Mary Rose. So, I'm usually not into cowboy or Western romances, but this does sound pretty good, so I will give it a try. And the last book I got is Stay With Me by Mila Gray. It says it's a forbidden romance, a wounded Marine, and the girl determined to save him. Monroe has waited for love her whole life, and when charming Zach Ridgemont sweeps her off her feet, Dee Dee believes she might have finally met the one, until she begins an internship at a military hospital in California. There she meets wounded Marine Noel Walker. Walker is an irritating patient who refuses any care, keeping his distance from everything and everyone, including Dee Dee. Walker is strictly out of bounds. Dee Dee knows this, respects this, but the more she tries to help Walker, the closer the two grow. Soon, neither one can ignore the sparks flying between them as their attraction simmers into dangerous territory. But Walker doesn't believe in love or happily ever afters. Not after what he's seen. Not after what he's been through. He doesn't want to hurt Dee Dee, but he doesn't want to push her away either. She makes him feel peaceful, hopeful even. Then tragedy hits, shattering both their worlds, and Dee Dee realizes that love isn't as simple as happily ever after. Love isn't easy, it's difficult, messy, complicated. Now all Dee Dee has to do is decide if it's worth fighting for. This sounds amazing. This is about a wounded soldier, a Marine, and she is helping him at the hospital, and it sounds like He has trying everything to push her away, but their attraction is undeniable, and then something happens. Some tragedy strikes. So I am really intrigued with this book, and I can't wait to read it. So those are all the books that I've hauled recently. Let me know if you've read any of them and if they're any good or not. I hope you guys have had a great day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.